We on?
We're on. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Good evening, Andy, Carl, and everyone tuning in. Welcome to the Monday Blues 2024 mid-season discussion and best 22. Gentlemen, Carl, Andy, thank you. I know we got a couple of outs. Shout out to Musa and Amala, couldn't make it tonight, so you're gonna have to deal with us three tonight.
Miss you,
How
Moose.
are you, boys?
Thanks, mate.
Carl?
Thanks for having us. Been a while.
How you going?
Yeah.
How was the week without a game?
That's where I was going with it. It's been good, man. It's a nice, relaxing week, but at the same time, it's been probably boring. Didn't watch much of the footy. Got back from me down in Rye. Got back today. Had a nice, relaxed weekend. So it's very well, very, very good. How about you, Andy?
Yeah, I'm good. Nice refresher. Nice to not have a heart attack on a weekend. It was almost nice to watch the scum and the filth lose, almost. But it was good, man. It was very very relaxing. Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of Carlton fans would feel the same. It was just a nice breath. Hey, we still held on to second place as well.
Yeah, good.
So very good. Georgie, how are you?
Good, man. Good. It was the most relaxed I've been on a weekend in a very long time throughout the season, to be honest. So just sitting there as a neutral observer I say neutral observer, but definitely not against not when Essendon and Collingwood's playing. Bloody hell, Zach Fisher. He was so close. He was so close. That would have been amazing. Absolutely.
He also cost them a goal.
They should have held on. But yeah, it was that was really good. It was really good. And we had a really good weekend, and big shout out to the Jumper Punch. They had a awesome show on Saturday. Went on Saturday night to the Jump Punch's live event. How good! Got to meet a lot of mutual viewers, people that tune into us, people that tune into them as well, people that we see at the footy all the time as well. It was just really, it was a Carlton community. It was just love. You just felt it. You just felt the passion of love. It was fantastic.
You said the right word there, Georgie. Community, and this is what it's all about. Yeah, community. So, big shout out to the Jumper Punch boys for putting on a great show, great night, and shout out to everyone who was there, said hi to us, and it was good. I loved it. Great night. Can't wait to do it again.
Absolutely, it was great to hear some stories of how people started following the club, or and some people that started tuning into us and how they came across it. But honestly, shout out to Rocco. Hey. If you ever stop podcasting, you got a career in stand-up comedy lined up straight away. His opening act was so fantastic. Honestly, it was, we did get a bit of a ribbing first. That was absolutely brilliant. It was turned to me and Andy and said, "The last time I saw two blokes that looked like you sit next to each other, I got off the plane."
That's how he opened.
I was in absolute stitches, man. What a man.
Absolutely.
It would be great to watch that back, that segment. But shout out to Rocco, Mars, and Paul. Absolutely put on a great show. Big shout out to our sponsor, Blues Crypto. I'm going to pop in some details in the chat, but Ur was there as well. It was great to see him too. So bluescrypto.com. Big shout out to our sponsor. The Fan Token by Ur Koken. Paul, I'm going to steal that tagline that you used on Saturday night. That was a really cool line. I'm gonna steal that off you. Sorry, mate. Popping in some details in the chat about bluescrypto.com. Whether you're a seasoned investor or a new investor, it'd be great to get around bluescrypto.com. There's also the most recent Ask Me Anything stream by Ur. I'm going to pop the link in the chat. Have a look. It's a really cool watch, actually, on the Blues Crypto YouTube channel. Have a look at the most recent stream where Ur's going through a couple of frequently asked questions as well. Really appreciate the great man getting around us. So as a great fan token by Ur Koken, great cryptocurrency opportunity, bluescrypto.com. Thank you. Peter V, I'll send you the video if you want. I think, mate, if he's, it was good to see a couple of couple of familiar names and faces there. Absolutely, get around it. But I'll be tuning into tomorrow's TJP stream. But yeah, how odd. It was just odd and like an odd feeling not seeing media scrutiny or pylon or Carlton news. It was a bit, besides there was a little bit of hoo-ha about this new or potential new rules for the father-son.
What's the go with that? What's actually happening with that?
Throw out to the chat. Really, I haven't really read into it too much, but isn't it ironic that the year that we get a couple of really good prospects, all of a sudden, nah.
I'll tell you what. Is it Andrew Dillon? Is he the head honcho at the moment?
Andrew Dillon
and Laura Kane.
Laura Kane.
In the
Lana Owens. I was going to say Lana Owens. Shout out to Lana Owens.
Shout out Lana. Andrew Dillon and Laura Kane have, in the very short time that they've been in charge, I don't know if they went in with a plan. Either the plan was to destroy the very fabric of the game that people love, and they've succeeded at that, or it was to just create great shake-up, which they've completely failed at. This is like, I've never seen so much scrutiny on the AFL more so than now. And you can't blame the rise of social media, because social media has been popular for a decade now, right? The AFL they've committed atrocities to the game this year. Honestly, like the tackles, like I understand you got to protect their head, but we're suspending blokes for things that were clapped at last year. And now with the tampering of the father-son, and I say this, I've said this many times, the AFL cannot stand Carlton. Imagine, Carl, you said this earlier, imagine it was the Dacos boys coming through. Do you think Collingwood would stand for that and allow the AFL to, manipulate the father-son? Absolutely not. But they're having their way with Carlton again, which is going to make our premiership even sweeter. I'm telling you, they hate us.
Just to the Dacos thing, I think if it was Collingwood, I think it would have been shut down before it got to the media and maybe extended another year.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, absolutely.
But to that point, I don't understand. What is it that they're changing? Is it points or what is it? Does anyone know? Because I've got no idea, besides them trying to jam up.
I heard it was, they're making it harder to, requiring more points, I believe. I to be honest, I haven't really read into it. I actually enjoyed a week just switching off from all AFL media, to be honest. So it's going to be interesting, but I hope that we can snag both. Or I think there's Walker's kid as well coming through in a couple of years' time. It's going to be another big one. He's under the Next Generation Academy for Tigers as well. But Andy Walker came out and said the preference is Carlton. He was very strong about that, so that was nice to hear.
Apparently, he's a jet.
He's big raps on it.
He's a star. Yeah, I've heard really.
Well, his old man went number 2. I think it was 2002, 2003. It might have been 2003. He went number 2 because I remember his was it his debut against West Coast?
West Coast.
And Lopez took the screamer. He took this screamer, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I think he dropped it.
Didn't he? Did he drop? Yeah, but he went up for a big one.
Yeah, he went up for. I think he might have dropped it.
20 years plus. Jeez, I fucking feel old now. Shout out to everyone in the chat. There's just over 50 ticking over now. Tune in on a Monday night. Thank you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. It really helps us out a lot. Nice to see. Yes, Peter V. Great night at the Lazio Market Club. Absolutely, Zach. Zach Asuni, fun night on the same table with you boys. Great to meet you, man. Absolute great chat. Fantastic evening.
Henny chat. Henny's here. Say meow. Say meow.
We play the Cats this week.
We do play the Cats this week, and I'll tell you what, this is the only cat I love.
Annoying. So tonight's ep. I know we got 3 of us. It'd be nice to have the full Monday Blues crew, but with us 3, looking forward to a bit of discussion, a bit of debate, and it's very much open to the chat as well, right? So we're going to go through a few questions. I'm going to ask them we're going to answer them individually, and then throwing it to the chat. Keen to get your thoughts as well on these, and then we'll go through and do a bit of I think we've done a bit of interim 2024 best 22 to round out. This is what we done this time last year. I remember we were arguing over Zach Fisher v Jack Martin, I think was the at the time, and that was before the Gold Coast game, if you remember that. And then everything changed.
We're doing it hard.
Wow.
This time last year, we were in a different place. We were just, and this is as a whole, yeah, like not just us, the Carlton fan base, the Carlton community. This time last year, we were in shambles.
What a difference 1 year makes, or even then last year, what a difference a couple of weeks makes. I just remembered something, Andy. I think it was John Holden and his son that showed us on Saturday night. Probably one of the best ever tattoos I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, listen to this. This is great.
Wow. So I think it was John. Was it his son?
It was John Holden. Yeah,
John Holden's son. Yeah. Shout out John and his son. I know you guys tune in. There was, I think his son showed me a mate of his that got tattooed. I think it was his bicep. It was 30th of May, 2024. Port Adelaide logo, Carlton logo. Port Adelaide 71 to Carlton's 107, and I was in absolute stitches. Like
he just got a random round 12 game.
Like maybe you think, I don't know, the semi-final. Usually it's the grand final or whatnot. Obviously we've been starved of those ones, but whoever got that, if you know him, or send it. I'm gonna get that photo. We've got to share it. It was absolutely hilarious. He just got a regular season game. Port Adelaide.
John Holden's son's mate.
Yeah, it was my son's mate. There he is. Shout out, John.
Drunk?
John fucking Holden, the Aussiest name in the world. Shout out Rocco. That killed me.
Oh, hey, I'm telling you, that stand-up bit, send it through, Peter, if you got the vid. But he's like, imagine meeting John Holden. He's like, you introduced your name. It's going to be inferior. Like, John Holden. It's the greatest name ever. No, it was great to chat to you, mate. And, yeah, your son's mate, what a guy. What a guy. It was on Twitter, was it? There you go, James. What a tattoo.
Crazy.
Let's get stuck into a few questions. So throwing it out to you boys first, and then also the chat. I guess what or who has been the biggest surprise packet for Carlton this season? So it can be a player or it can be a move. Throwing it to you boys and the chat.
There's a couple, man. I mean, of late you could probably go Zach Williams, but then you
didn't play last year.
You know what? I'm probably going to go Elijah Hollins, man. He's been not only great, but a great pickup. And for a steal, it'd almost have to be him. That's what I think anyway. But overall, there's Tom the Koning, almost been the best ruckman in the comp. Zach Williams going forward. Tom Boyd being, probably the best kick in the league. It's good. It's all on our team. There's a lot to choose from. You boys?
I think Go, Carl. Sorry, Carl.
I'm saying, yeah, you boys. What do you reckon?
If we're talking about most improved, I'm going to say Harry, purely goal kicking. Now, I've been a fan of him for a while, right? So I know what he was doing around the grounds was, awesome last year. But honestly, the level he's gone to this year, like he was on the trade table last year, if you ask some of the fans. So not only has he elevated his game, but he's cemented his spot as one of our most important players. And what he's been able to do in front of the goals, and I, pray to God it continues, mate, he's a weapon. Not only is he one of the best in our team, he's now, in my opinion, he's probably in the top 10 most dangerous players in the league. So I think Harry for me. Georgie?
Well, you say Harry, but I did mention surprise packet. I'll say that you actually called it. Like you, even though you said most improved, so I wouldn't say it was a surprise for you because you actually mentioned it pre-season that watch out for Harry. So it's great call.
And Zach Williams.
Yes, you did. You did all Australian. I remember. So
yeah, I said all Australian.
I'm gonna go Zach Williams because for me it definitely a surprise packet. Like I didn't expect it. I know he's been, had that time through the midfield, and then obviously went back to defense, which is what was his natural position. But hey, throw him forward and see what he brings. I would not have. I know there's a few fans that said, we saw the potential, or maybe he can go forward and make a difference. I did not see it. Blindsided me. I love it. So for me, that shift and that move probably overtakes just the Cincotta one. I know Cincotta's hunger and drive and speed and tenacity at the game showed through last year, but Zach Williams for me. Looking at the chat,
good answers in the chat.
Evening. Shout out Ur. Thanks for tuning in. We've got here Williams to the forward line from Naz and Elijah. 100% Elijah's been really good. Cam, Bayer, Elijah and TDK has been the most improved and biggest surprise packet as Williams going forward. Agreed. Lana, good one. Boydie's gotten better and better. Like he's cemented that firm best 22. Harry Sindos, Zach going forward, absolutely.
I like that one, Naz. I like Naz. That one you're about to read.
Surprise packet Z and GT contract.
Absolutely. That's the winner.
That
was not on the cards for me this year.
I don't think it was on the cards for him. I reckon he's even surprised.
They just rocked up to training and they go, have a contract.
Absolutely. Shout out to TDK, another level this year. Agreed. He's in contention for All Australian. I've been saying it that he's now part of that big six. Add Sarden there for 7 if you want. But no, he's really stepped it up a lot. So going forward to question 2, which players, I guess, and this is not just best improver, but who across the whole squad, who's been the standout performer or performers, and then maybe on the other side of it is someone that's left you a little bit wanting. Not so much an underperformer, but someone that has the potential either to lift or someone you thought has regressed. You go, Andy.
Oh, you want me to go?
Here you go.
I think Paddy Cripps is putting together, and I've said this week after week. Paddy Cripps is putting together a Brownlow season. For me, he's clearly the standout. Walshy's been amazing since he's been in as well, but I think Cripper just gets him purely based on games played. And I'm going to say Wiedering as well. I'm going to chuck Wieders in there because he's just a rock. He's a robot, yeah? What you're going to get every contest. He's just so good. And it's a crime that I think it was the Fox footy idiots didn't put him in their All-Australian team. Again, it's outside noise for me. Like, I don't care. I just want to win a flag. But give the bloke some credit, man. He's putting together season after season of quality, and apparently he wasn't even really mentioned. So that's disrespectful, and I hope he comes out with a point and a chip on his shoulder. And someone that's left me wanting, I'm going to say Durden, man, because he had a lot to play for coming into the season with Mott, taking his place, always. Now that Zach Williams is up forward, when Motlop's in, what's Durden going to do? He's got 2 years to, kind of get himself in. But, man, it bothers me that he's had such a bad season. I'm going to throw Orazio in there too. Orazio is playing a different role, and I think it's taken me a long time to work out what his actual role is. But I don't know. It's just left me wanting. Carl?
Yeah, definitely upside. You don't have to say Corey Durden. I mean, we give him a hard time, but he almost deserves it. I mean, you're a fucking AFL player, for God's sake, man. Get your finger up your ass. Fucking kick a goal a week, Yeah. That's your job. Front and center. Blake's always at the back. Most improved. You know what? I got to say Tom de Koning. Was it last year before we all thought he was going to leave? Good call, Cripps. But Cripps, you know what you're going to get from Cripps. The Brownlow medalist, probably going to win it again this year. But Tom de Koning, young kid, pressure's on him. Ruckman, big role to play. A lot of people give him shit, turn over the ball a lot. This year you could see what he's done. He's fixed his game a lot. Tom de Koning, I reckon, easily.
Good call.
Georgia guy, he's the player we all knew he could be, and that's the reason. We signed on 2 years, which was huge for us. But hopefully, we can lock him down for longer. I absolutely agree with both. I think Cripps and TDK. I'll spin it a little bit differently and say Sam Walsh only because of the circumstances. To be questioned about if you're ever going to be good enough to be elite because of your back and recurring back injuries, to have a not so much interrupted preseason, but to have a big chunk of interrupted early in the season and late preseason, and then to come out, I think his first 4 to 5 weeks were insane.
He couldn't walk.
Allegedly, the week before he came in, he was someone that was apparently walking like an old man. He might be going in for back surgery or whatever, but unbelievable. Like the guy is, and again, you like he can probably take it to another level. That's a scary thing as well. So, Walshy for me is someone that has absolutely had an absolute blinder of a season so far, and hopefully he can continue it, especially going into September. In terms of regress or someone that's left me wanting a bit, I probably will say Orazio over Dirds. Dirds still young, right? Like, I mean, you got 40 players in the list. They can't all be great. They can't all be above average or distinct. I mean, you'd love that. You'd absolutely love that, but statistically, that's never going to be the case. I felt with his hiccup, I didn't expect much, to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting, someone that's going to go in and kick 25, 30 goals in the season. What I did expect is a reliable senior player that is going to be that steady head that might get you 1, 2, in critical moments of the game, be utilized as a whether it's as a decoy or just be that smart player in the forward line that can get over the back perhaps, or get free in the forward line and take a couple of marks inside 50 or whatnot. I know he's not. We didn't pick him up for start him in the forward line, but I felt like in my mind when we picked him up, okay, I see why we did. Could he, can he perform better? Absolutely, he'll probably be the first person that said I'd love to hit the scoreboard more. Absolutely, but I would just like to see if he gets his opportunities in the second half of the season to take them a bit more in front of the goals and show a little bit more front and center. That's my one. In the chat, we've got Cam. Shout out Uncle Sam, TDK 100. TDK, very popular choice. Absolutely. Cam Bayer, Cripps definitely standout player. And I need more from Kerno. He's good for 1 to 2 goals a week, but he's dominating like he did the last 2 seasons in the home and away season. Fermi Fox, I know it's mainly due to availability, but Chera for me has been very disappointing. You really need him in the second half of the year to get himself right and make an impact. I recall Chera in the second half of last year was fantastic.
Shaved his head.
Shaved head Chera. I think that's
the one.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we need. I just keep remembering that Collingwood game when he came off. I think he came off injured, but his first half in that Collingwood game.
Spectacular.
Yep. Peter V. Bluebagger, Boyd, best kick in the league. Absolutely. He, as a field kick, fantastic. I think we're between Boyd and McGovern, field kicking from the back line. We're in safe hands.
I'm so comfortable when Boydie's got the ball. Like, you just know 9 times out of 10, it's going to be, even if it doesn't hit the target, it's going to a good spot.
Even when he's under pressure.
Yeah, he's so measured and calculated, and he's got that. He's got his own time almost when he's got the ball. So I'm comfortable when he's got the ball, and they're the guys you want delivering the ball down the ground.
Yep, absolutely. PJ Morris, shout out, bro. Cowan is growing every week. Absolutely, he played, if I recall correctly, last season. He played during our pretty barren spell at the start of the season. He had a few games in a row, and then I recall, I think it was the Essendon game or the game before that, where he went out of the team, and we didn't see him for the rest of the year from memory. So he's doing really well.
Did he play in the? Was it him that played in the prelim or no? No, it was Boyd that came in. Boyd.
Yeah, at the end against Brisbane. Yeah,
that was Boyd. My bad. Yeah.
I hope he keeps his spot though.
He deserves it. Definitely deserves
it. Absolutely. He's hard at it. I reckon I'm calling it early. Tassie will be after this kid in a couple of years' time when they're in. They will be knocking the door down because he's obviously from there. Damien Lancaster, one of the most improved. Kemp. I think there'll be a bit of a debate between us boys and Kemp later. That'll be good. He's a hot topic. Pittner surprised me when he was in the team. Love to see TDK and Pitto play together. Pitto's stats in the team this year, minus his first game. He's been okay, but it's what does it do for TDK? TDK obviously looks like he relishes the Sol Ruck. This is going to be a very interesting second half of the season with availability and giving TDK a chop out. What do you boys reckon?
It's going to be interesting when we do our teams later with Pitto.
Yep.
Do you reckon you kind of bring in you play two ruckmen against those? I know you can say those easier games.
Or do you do it against like your Sean Darcy's and the big Braden Pruses and the big units? Your Max Gorns, all right.
I don't think you can bring him in against the quick sides.
No, not against the quick side. I wholeheartedly believe that Pitto is out against quick sides.
Yeah. So
we look so much better with PDK just rucking and being athletic and having Harry run through the ruck as well.
Maybe it'd be a good idea to actually rest Tom De Koning when we play like your North Melbourne again or West Coast.
Well, that's it. That's why it's important to bank the wins, yeah? So come the back end of the season, we can actually rest our players instead of having, 22, 23 tired players in finals.
Yep.
So,
definitely.
Agreed. Harry Sindos agreed. George was expecting more for impact from Orazio. Yep, absolutely. We all are. Lana Owens' Ras has been very disappointing. I really hope he can turn it around. I actually, I like the idea of what he can bring to the forward line. Johnny, best thing is our bottom six players are now only just under our best performing players. Our floor has risen closer to the ceiling. That is spot on. I love that. You used to have reliance or severe reliance on your top end talent to get you over the line. How many times? It's like, and it's not just recent times. I remember growing up, it was Fev or bust, right? Fev needs to kick 7 or 8 for us to win. Nick Stevens needed to play an absolute blinder. Juddy needed to, put on a show. Jared Waite needed to kick a bag, and then it went to Mark
Cripps.
Murphy and Gibbs and then Cripps. Yeah, so like we've always had this reliance about just our stars, and in recent years it's been like how many times have you heard the headline? Cripps or bust, or Carlton Cripps or bust, Cripps or bust. And you have him and Wiedering. And obviously Harry and Charlie doing a job, but you've got guys coming in. You've got your Cotters, you got your Fogg, Chincotta, you name it, Cowan. These guys can come in and do a fantastic job. I wholeheartedly agree with this.
That's good. It's good, isn't it?
How good is it? It's a good issue to have, and then having the depth, having these hungry players coming in through. Obviously, unfortunately, it's been injury this year, but. Yeah. They're coming in, they're taking their moments, as Andy always loves to say.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, silver linings, man. You got players that came in, took their chances, and now we're in a conundrum. Yeah. Who do we play for who? Yeah. And
that's right.
It's a great problem to have. And the best teams, the premiership teams, have all had that problem. So, yeah.
Fermi Fox, agree with Andy 100%. Never am I more calm than when Boyd has ball in hand. Beautiful user with the footy. Absolutely. Uncle Sam, TDK cannot play full quarters. He gets burnt out by the last quarter, but geez, does he put on a show, man? Like, does he really have a good burst? His second, third, fourth efforts, as Amal always says as well. Like he's
building, man.
Yep.
He's building,
and it's a great term for it, I think, and I'm excited what it's going to bring for the second half of the season. Shout out Ozatesh, always tuning in. Sam Walsh has been the best Carlton player this year so far, in my opinion, and it's a huge call considering he's missed the first 4 games of the season. Sam, well done, Sam as well. What a guy!
Just quickly, I'm going to give a shout out to a good friend of mine, Bruno. His daughter runs out with the club this week on Friday night, and then she was also involved with the celebrity race at quarter time. So, good work, Natalia. Awesome. Shout out to Natalia.
Well done. Love it.
If we had clapping sound effects, we'd all be clapping. So well done.
Look, you're asking a lot of me over here, mate. I'm not at that level. I think I'm clapping.
That's all good, Georgie.
It's got to start doing it under the table like
I do not have. I'm sorry, but shout out, well done. That's great, and we should hopefully start to see a 80k plus, maybe even 85 plus on Friday night.
I'm not going to lie. I put in a bid today to toss the coin. I don't know if anyone got the email, but I put in a bid. I'll put in a bid.
Good is that? How good is that?
So if I do get up, which I highly doubt it,
and on the ground, I'm
going to be on the ground, guys. So I want everybody in the crowd to just chant my name. Just chant my name.
Absolutely in. You heard it here first.
I'll strip down my jocks and I have the Monday Blues painted on me.
Well, why are you saying that? Strip down no jocks, I can clap with no hands. I know what you're saying there, mate. That's terrible. Behave yourself.
He's got a size 16 shoes. He ain't lying.
Behave yourself. Morris, we having a drink at halftime, not at the game. So not at the game. I'm having it now. I'm not having it at the game. You know the rules, bro.
I know the rules. That's right. Yeah.
I think there's going to be my photo at bars saying "Do not serve" by the end of the season. Everyone knows it's not going to happen. Shout out Justin Akari. I know Justin, you tune in, but whenever we see him at games, he always offers me a drink with a laugh, and he knows I can't. So shout out to you, Justin. What areas of the game do we need to improve on, if any? But there are a few. But what do you boys think? What are the areas that we for the second half of this season going forward?
Carl's got a smile on his face. I reckon he's got one.
I do.
I think I know what it is.
It's been decent, but 4 quarters. 4 quarters of consistent footy. We almost done it against Port Adelaide, you could say. Essendon, you've seen that dip in the third. I mean, it's probably really hard to get 4 amazing quarters, but if we can get that consistency of 4 quarters, we'll be hard to beat.
Yeah, mine's extremely similar. Mine's the leaking of goals at the back end of the quarters. We're just the kings at junk time goals. We just concede them. We tighten that up, and we probably go undefeated. Like, it's that important. We leak so many goals at the back end of quarters. I don't know always easy ones.
Yeah, dumb ones.
And quick, and yeah, it's super frustrating, but you know what? We're second on the ladder. So, I'll take annoying.
Agreed. I the 4-quarter one, and Paul from Jump Punch actually had an interesting comment on it on Saturday night. He was saying that, because we're just known for our burst, our really severe burst where we kick 5 or 6, and those bursts, Andy, as you always say, when we're up and about and we have that burst, no one can go with us. He was saying, are we asking too much of the guys to have a 4-quarter effort when we know that we can get a game of footy won? We've done it against, Gold Coast, against GWS, against Essendon with a 10 or 15 minute burst where we just absolutely break away. Is that sustainable? There's going to be games where we're not going to be able to do that, of course. But for me, it is those, if you call it the junk time or the goals over the top, when we're a little bit higher up in defence and we leak a couple of those towards the end of the quarter. Or I would say what it was a few weeks ago was not being able to, sometimes it was not being able to handle the favourites tag or not being able to sustain a quality lead. But I felt like we've addressed that in the last few weeks. Like the Port Adelaide win was a mature one. The Essendon one, we never let them back in within 3 goals. I think 3 goals was like that, the maximum 15 points. So we didn't make it nervy or cut out Carlton as we've seen sort of in the last couple of years, really. So
yeah, there's definitely change within the group.
Yep.
Yeah, good call.
Absolutely. Peter V, can we just chant Monday Blues? Absolutely, mate. Chant away.
Yeah, man.
Femi Fox, Andy, if you win the chance to toss the coin, slide tackle Tom Stewart while you're there in the centre.
Done.
Probably do his hand running after him.
If Andy goes to the ground, the secure cop staff will think he's a streak. Brandon, we spoke about this earlier. What are your thoughts on the AFL trying to scam us out of the Camperella Twins? It's the AFL and it's Carlton. They hate us. Everyone hates us. Just it's got to be that year that we're due for something nice. But they've got to change it up, Morris, we still have a lot of fine tuning as we are far from our best. That's the attitude to have, and that's I'm sure what will have been coming from Vossi the last few weeks during the bye. He'll say that obviously the job's not done, and you've seen it from teams such as Melbourne in recent years, the last couple of years. You can absolutely be unstoppable during the home and away season, and then four out of 4 straight sets in the finals, and then what an ugly feeling for staff, coaching staff, and players and fans alike. Naz, last time we played Geelong, we had half a side. A lot of ins since then. Lots of ins. I'm looking for, and we're pretty strong favourites. I think we were.
I think the preview this week will be good because it'll be interesting with some of the injuries and injured players that will be coming back apparently. So,
yeah, absolutely. Harry Sindor, same page, Andy. You reckon we need to tighten our defence? We leak junk goals. I feel like I've with a couple of those moves and the magnets that have happened, the Chincotta, Cowan in, not knocking Lewis Young, but Wiedering back there Wiedering and McGovern is the ultimate combo for me. For intercepts, I think we've starting to address that.
I want to give a quick shout out to Splashy Windows. He's a good friend of mine, great friend of mine from Sydney, actually. How are we feeling about the Geelong game? Mate, we're smashing them, bro. Don't stress. We're smashing them.
Splashy Windows. I feel good. I feel good. Thanks for tuning in. No,
absolute legend.
YK, conceding big scores to top teams. I think we've conceded a bit more than this year than last year. But it is because of good comment, Petro. Defense has been unsettled for most of the first half of this season. Done well under the circumstances. Young players have stood up. Absolutely agreed. Absolutely agreed. And maybe we'll throw in we got a question here. After seeing a half season of footy, before we go to the next question, what is on Carlton's shopping list come season's end?
I think we need a cleaner to dust to keep our Premiership Cup clean during the postseason. Some security guards to keep the filth and the scum out.
We can do that.
What else? Actually, I've booked in a tattoo for the Monday after the thing. That's on my list. I don't know what else.
I'm in.
I don't know what else. We're winning the flag, bro. We don't need no one. We are winning the flag.
Depending on what happens with, say, Jack Martin, and even Cunners, who's out of contract, or has he got another year? I don't remember. We might need help. And Orazio was given 1 year, of course, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in the forward line for a little bit of depth. That's for me. That's probably
what it is, but mainly a small forward because you got your wings, backline sorted, midfield sorted, your ruck sorted. It's really your small forward, a key small forward that you know it's going to do damage.
If Zach Williams works, if Zach Williams is like, say he ends up with 30 goals by the end of the year, right? 35 goals. And always has a good year, Motlop comes in. Do we need a small forward?
I think you still do. Because you need that depth because currently our depth is Corey Durden.
Does always become depth?
Probably depends who Motlop. It depends who you get, or if Jack Martin comes in and stays fit, it comes down to that as well.
It's interesting. It's interesting because I really think Zach Williams is working. And I love what Always is doing at the moment. So come Motlop, and then Durden's going to really struggle to get in, and then Always might even be a fringe. So good problem to have.
Yeah.
Watch this space. Absolutely. Great question, Brandon. Lana, shout out, Lana. Come on, guys, hit the like. 71 watching, only 21 likes. Absolutely. Hit the like button on the way in, on the way out. Please do. Man. Peter V, entries inside 50 still need a bit more attention. I think if we start cleaning that up, geez, watch out. Absolutely. Morris Tyson Stengel, he's out restricted. No, sorry, him Zerha's a restricted free agent. There's a few names out there that'll be interesting. Or outside midfielder with pace.
That's actually not a bad call.
Yep,
not a bad call.
Who's free? Like who's on the list, or is anyone out of contract?
I haven't seen the midfielders, to be honest. No.
Might need to drag someone that's contracted potentially.
It'd be interesting.
Or does Elijah? I don't know if Elijah's a runner, but
he's probably
he's got the Holland's genes in him. He's definitely a runner.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got Cotters that might step up as well. So
yeah, Cotters is quick.
And how about the fact that we've seen a few magnets move? We might see some more, some role changes in the off season as well, and we've seen a couple of really successful ones this season in Chincotta and Williams. Scott the Blues. I'm not going to share that comment in case it's going to get us taken down. But mate, absolute legend. Great to meet you on Saturday night, bro. Sorry I can't watch live, fellas. Just saying hello. You're a bunch of sick. I'm going to say blokes. Love you. Go Blues. On you, Scott. Appreciate you tuning in. Great to meet you on Saturday, man. Absolute champion. So maybe a quick one from Cam before we go to the next one. We've got a bit of time. Boys, I pose a question. You're saying we need Smalls. I agree. What happens when either Harry or Charlie get a long-term injury? Knock on wood. God forbid. Who comes in? Cam, it's very morbid of you, mate. But
let's just sub him out with that question.
Cameron, I don't know, bro. You're putting that out in the universe. Jesus.
Harry Lemmy.
That's Harry Lemmy, man. We're asking.
I don't know, man.
God, just bad buzz. That's all.
Hard. Just end the potty now, man.
No, back with what we've got. Absolutely. I think, I trust in their longevity, and we all trust Andrew Russell, of course. Naz, we need a big defender. I'd love to see Mac Andrew in our side, mate. Wow. Imagine what a unit.
Uncle Sam said the same thing. We need a defender. We need more backmen. Yep. If one player gets injured, we struggle. We've shown we've struggled. Look, we held up, but I think it's on game day. We cop an injury to our defense, and we kind of struggle. So,
do you reckon we draft a young kid defender?
I think we should be hitting the draft absolutely, because when Tassie's coming in, we're not getting draft picks.
Yeah, you have to go now.
So you have to go now. Yeah.
Yep.
Which is okay for us because we're in that window now, so we don't really need to trade picks. So we can attack the draft quite hard.
You don't want to be hitting the draft and rebuilding when Tassie's around in the first couple of seasons. Definitely not. One for Henny. Aaron Cox and Henny is so cute. There you go. Give a shout out to Henny.
That's my babe. Thank you, Aaron. Henny's my babe. I love her. That's my cat, by the way. She's not just talking about
next one for us and the chat. Who's currently leading the best and fairest? What do you boys reckon?
I reckon
Cripps.
Yep.
Cripps.
I think it's undisputed. I think it'll be Cripps. He's just done too well.
I think comfortably as well.
I'm gonna throw another name up there. Probably not leading, but he'll come super close. Nick Newman.
Yeah.
Yep.
I reckon Nick Newman.
He was second last year after Weeders. Second after Weeders.
It's actually funny, right? So we were at the best and fairest last year. They do favour backman. So is Weeders leading? Is Newman leading?
He missed a couple though. He did miss a couple. Yeah.
So it's interesting to see what they're after. Yeah.
I reckon Newman just behind Cripps, to be honest with you. Walshy would be streaming in some votes. Harry, honestly, the first month, Harry would have had a very strong first month of votes.
Absolutely.
Harry on top first month.
Just think,
let's do it. Yeah.
And it seems to be a very popular choice. Cripps, TDK, Newman, all in the chat. Newman, a very popular choice. Cripps, probably the most popular choice. And I reckon Sam Walsh streaming in with a tailwind. So yeah,
are we going or
that'll be interesting? Yeah, we'll be there.
BNF. Oh, bro, I'm not missing another one. I loved it.
Good.
Yeah,
it was great fun.
Like I said.
Carl just snuck up behind Charlie Kern. I can't get that locking vision out of my head. Just puts his arm on the shoulder. Hey, bro, come here for a photo. Charlie didn't have a choice. Charlie didn't have a choice.
Bloke shit himself.
Carl bullied Charlie Kernan to a photo.
All I did.
Hey, come here. I must say, and I posted up the photo on the on our potty Instagram page on the story, but it was a crazy moment, right? And I remember my wife was telling me, like, she's like, don't panic. But as we were walking out, so we're walking out of the best and fairest, Juddy just streams past on his own, on his phone. He was, had a few. Grabbed Juddy, went downstairs. I got a photo and went downstairs. As we're walking to the car, my wife's like, don't panic. But Patrick Cripps and Charlie Kerno are behind us. And there's no one in Crown at this stage. It was a ghost town. There's no one for about 100 meters. And they're walking behind us, and they're picking up the pace. They're walking closer and closer. And I'm like, I don't turn around, George. Just don't make a fool of yourself, And then we get on the escalator, and I just hear them behind me getting on the escalator. I think Kerno's with his sister, and they had a mate with him, whatever. And then I'm like, I have to do it. I turn around, like, boys, I love you, blokes. Got a great selfie on the elevator with them on the escalator going up towards the Crown Gaming area. But made a little bit of a fool myself.
Great photo.
Felt like a kid, to be honest. So, all right, looking ahead to the second half of the season, what are the key games or any fixtures you've sort of earmarked in the home and away season that will define the rest of the season? What are you guys looking forward to?
Look, to be honest, I haven't really looked at it, but I'm looking forward to the Collingwood game because I want to beat those dogs.
Yeah. It's always the Collingwood ones, huh?
Yeah. I don't look too far into the fixture. I don't want to get too excited or too upset.
Same.
So I look at that week or two. I usually look. But yeah, just off the top of my head, it's almost Collingwood. And I don't want to just beat them. I want to give them one, like one in the mouth.
In the mouth.
One of those in the mouth. One of those ones.
Well, to be honest, I'm really enjoying what Hawthorn's bringing, and I can't wait to watch us play Hawthorn. I can't wait to see Hawthorn play. I'm not going to go to a Hawthorn game where we're not playing them. So that's one game, like obviously the Collingwood one, but they're going to challenge us. They're going to really challenge us, and we're going to learn a lot about ourselves, because they've been in great form, and I hope they keep their form up, until we play them. I don't know when we play them, but
around 22, I think.
Oh wow, that's wild.
I don't know.
Against Hawks.
Just guessed.
Hawks. August 11th. August 11th.
Yeah,
hey, I was right.
Round 22. You're right.
Jesus, good on you. Yeah, I'm really enjoying what the Hawks are doing. So that's one thing I'm really looking forward to.
Yep,
Georgie?
That's going to be at the MCG as well. Looking forward to that. The Pies game. The Pies game, as always. I know it's a away game for us. I that hostile territory and getting one over them, evening the ledger. But to be honest with you, it might even be this Friday. Like, I really feel like there's a lot on the line this Friday against Geelong. So especially the last time.
Funny you said that. I just read a comment from our friend Omar. Winning this Friday night is the difference between top 4 and top 8.
Right.
So
that's a good call.
Omar. Yep.
It's one of those big games. Yeah, absolutely.
This Friday, getting one back over them, they had a really good first half of the season. And were they undefeated when we played them?
Yeah.
Memory. They were top of the ladder. They were undefeated. Yeah.
We would have been undefeated too. We lost to Adelaide the week before, I think. Or a couple of weeks before. I don't know.
That loss just feels worse as every week goes past.
Sorry, George.
We should have beat them that game too, though. We dominated play inside 50s. It just the scoreboard. Didn't. This Friday for me is a big one. I think evening the ledger and ensuring that we retain top 4, and I think Omer's call is a very good one. You want to bank it? Yes, it is. Yep.
in the chat, Nicholas Aegis, Collingwood, Hawthorn, GWS. Looking forward to a few there. Absolutely some key games. Morris, can we beat Hawthorn? I think it's going to be a cracker of a game at the G. Sunday, 1:10 p.m., 11th of August, round 22, says Carl.
Of course we can beat them, bro. Of course we will beat them.
I reckon we'll beat them easy.
Agreed.
I just love what they're doing now. Like I really enjoy watching Hawthorn games.
Shout out, Pierre. Femi Fox did the ladder predict yesterday. The result of the Geelong Collingwood games play a massive part for us, either finishing in or outside the top 4 critical games. Yep,
absolutely.
Great call. Cam wants he's smelling blood. Cam Byer, I think it's absolutely crucial for us to beat Eagles, Saints, North by 50 plus. We need to get at least 105 to 110 percentage points, and Richmond as well has to be a 5-goal win. I think, we've had a few close ones. I think we need to. Percentage is arguably going to play a factor somewhere in the top 4, top 8. So you don't want to be left till, I think we've learnt it the hard way in recent years. So I don't want to think about that game. I don't want to think about it. YK Dogs away at Marvel. Yes, indeed, they have playing very well.
By them as well.
Yeah. Harry Sindos, looking forward to how we handle GWS up there. Andy, you went a couple of years ago. How's the atmosphere at this stadium?
Awesome. GWS has some serious fans up there. There's an absolute boatload of Carlton fans that get around there too. So if you can get up there, it's a great game. Highly recommend. Awesome stadium. Feels like almost like a country feel, but awesome. And I was lucky enough to go there. I think it was a twilight game. When the sun sets over the ground, it's picturesque. Just amazing.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Done. Lock it in. Looking forward to a few more interstate trips, to be honest. Had a few good ones recently.
I think we're due for one.
We are.
I think we're due for one.
Naz, we will lose maybe one game between now and the end of the season. I love this. How good's that?
I don't think we will.
If we do, it's in the home and away, not in the finals, mate.
Absolutely not.
Peter V, maybe Pendle's 400th against the Pies. How good would it be to spoil this shit? How good? Just absolutely put one in their mouths. Oh, mate.
Oz up and about. Did someone say milk?
We'll see you there, Oz. Absolutely, that's going to be a good one. Looking forward to it. I'm excited for this back. Now, to wrap up the questions before we go to the best 22, throw it to you boys and the chat. A movie or a song title to sum up the season so far.
Can I just jump straight into this one?
Go for it.
You know me. I'm up there. I'm aggressive. I love like I just want to smash every team. For me, it's Hit 'Em Up by Tupac. We're just taking everyone on. If you're a rap fan, even if you're not a rap fan, you probably know Hit 'Em Up by Tupac. And if you haven't heard it, go listen to it right now. Get the children, huddle the children around the speaker and play Hit 'Em Up by Tupac. We're smashing teams this year. We're running through teams for the rest of the year. This is where I think we're going to pick our game up and go to the next level and just run through teams and run through the league. And everyone's talking about Sydney being, unstoppable and all that. Bro, I'm not worried about Sydney, not one bit. We play them on the G and not their shitty little ground. Mate, Hit 'Em Up will be playing all night. We are smashing them.
I love it.
Carl?
Absolutely love it.
Barbie Gill.
Which player does that remind you of?
Maynard.
That's brilliant.
You know what? I don't know what to say to you, man. I'm just going to say Scarface, man. Let's just start shooting people, man.
Just any song off the album.
Pick one.
Push it to the limit. Let's go.
Push it to the limit. That's a great song. Hey, I'm going to watch that after this. That's mad. The 68th time. For me, it's if we're talking about this season, DNA by Billy Gillies. Andy, we love that tune. Loving you is in my
Play it, George.
DNA. So anyway, I can't play because in case we get copyright.
Grand final.
That's right.
I say DNA because I feel like this year the Carlton DNA is back. That arrogance, that toughness, that I feel like, you know, I was quite young, obviously, when we were very successful. But I feel like there was that, and you know, and you talk about it all the time in the, you know, the 70s and the 80s, and people that grew up, and speaking to a lot of people on Saturday night that experienced all those flags, there was that sense of that pride, that passion, that arrogance, that DNA. That was, I feel like it's coming back, and then the swagger, and you know, we have one of the biggest fan bases and the most passionate fan bases in the country. Yeah, that's for me. DNA. Let's go to the chat. Omar, Boys in the Hood. Morris, Pearl Jam, Given to Fly. Omar, again, another one. Victory by P. Diddy.
Funny story about that one. Victory by P. Diddy. When we were in Brisbane, Omar played this on repeat prelim week.
He did.
Absolutely on repeat. He rented this little shitty car with the worst speaker system I've ever heard in my life. And he was just bumping that like he was driving a $400,000 Maserati.
Shout out, mate. It was either that or at 1 a.m. when we were trying to sleep, and he's making memes with Turkish music and Carlton videos. Yeah. Omar. That was fantastic.
Turkish music playing across the hotel room.
That's it. Ibrahim Tutlas. Shout out, Omar. That was a great night. Living on a Prayer, Bon Jovi. Peter Unbound for Glory. I like that one. Damien Juicy by Biggie. None's not too sexy, right? Said Fred. It's fantastic. Keep them coming. I love it. So, best 22. I know we done this last year. We probably go through I've got a bit of a graphic to share soon, but throwing it out to you boys. Maybe if you boys want to kick it off, and in the chat as well. Start with your defense lines and go forward, and who makes the cut. We'll discuss and debate it. Starting with the full back line. If you boys want to kick it off, who makes the cuts?
I've got to get my team up.
Am I going on the whole list or just full backs for now?
Let's go the back. Let's go the back six, and let's go the back six and talk through that.
My backs are Brody Kemp, Jacob Wiedering, Jordan Boyd, Adam Saad, Mitch McGovern, and Nick Newman. That's my back six.
Exact same. I'm the exact same.
Actually, I did as well, and you know, call it out in the chat if you have anything differently. I think Weeders. What I might do, I might actually even just share my my photo, just so we can talk through. It's a little bit easier to look through. Had Weeders, Kemp, and Boyd. Had Nick Newman, Mitch McGovern, Adam Saad. Now, Doc. I feel like Doc will be there, or should be there, maybe in that discussion. I know obviously this is a bit hard, but if we're talking about best 22, I'll say he'd slot right in there or take Cowan's spot in the interchange. But yeah, let us know if you think anything different to that squad. Morris, what about Lewis Young?
What about him?
Yeah.
Shout out Mars from the Jumper Punch.
Great work on Saturday night, bro. Great fun at the show. TJP Live. Looking forward to tomorrow's ep. Great evening. Midfield line. You boys take it away.
You want to go, Andy? You want me to go?
You can go.
I got Cripper in the middle, Cottrell on the wing, and Akers on the other wing.
Cool.
So Cripper, Akers, and Cottrell. Andy?
I've got I think I got the same as yours, bro. I think I've got Ollie Hollins, Cripper, and Akers.
It's been a discussion, a very interesting discussion with a lot of the fan base, and I can see it in the comments when Carlton post or when AFL or Fox Footy post. Ollie Hollins v Cotters is a consistent discussion. I've got. It's so hard. I've got Ollie just edging it because of what he brings overall. They're both going to give you 15 Ks. They're both going to go hard at it. It's an interesting one. My issue is
Cottrell brings more speed. I feel like he's quicker. And I mean, it'll come with time. He'll fix it. He's still young. But I feel like when he's got the ball, Ollie Hollands, he takes too long to get rid of it. He almost waits till he's tackled.
Yeah.
I don't know if he hasn't got the awareness. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure he'll fix it. But that's probably only it. I mean, they're both going to be stars.
I struggled with that with the Cotters Hollands. That was probably the one I juggled with the most. I just went Hollands because I love his tank. I love his efforts and I love his tank. And that's no slight on Cotters because he's exactly the same. It's just a flip of the coin for me, to be honest. So,
centre forward line. Let's go forward 6. I had there Elijah Hollands, Harry, Matty Owie, Zach Williams, Charlie Curnow, Lockie Fogarty. Any different for you boys?
Yeah, I've got Hollands half forward, Mackay centre half forward, Fogarty on the other half forward, and I've got Zach Williams forward pocket, Charles and Jesse on the other forward pocket.
And Jesse is for Owies, I think, in your lineup.
Yeah.
That's best. Mine's the same as Andy's.
Yeah, so always actually didn't make the team for me.
Yeah, same.
It's Jesse for me. I forgot to put him on the bench. I would have rather had him on the bench, to be honest. But yeah, Jesse v. Owies. Sorry, Jesse. Don't make my one. But yeah, for the boys, so 2 for 1. Jesse in the lineup. I'm excited for him to be back, to be honest. I think he really, and we called it out pre-season or early in the season, he really should be the premier small forward for this club going forward. So looking forward to that. And I think everyone's unanimously was very much, was Zach, a few weeks ago, if he said Zach Williams forward pocket, you would have been laughed out of the room almost. But wait, what a master stroke that is. Followers, TDK, I had George Hewitt and Sammy Walsh.
Same. I got the same as you.
Same.
I don't know. I've got Chera.
Chera.
So I've got TDK, Walshy, and Chera in one.
Yep. Chera.
I've got Georgie on the bench.
Yeah, Chera. I'm looking forward to him coming back and hopefully just stringing together a really good bit of form. My decision to have George there was just for a couple of those inside the hard ball gets whatnot to free up your runners, your Walsh, but I guess you have that with Cripps as well. But yeah, Chera, I'm bloody keen as mustard to have him back in the team. Jeez. Interchange, I had Ricotta there, Chincotta, Cotters, Chera, and Cowan. A few boys that are a bit stiff now. Well, actually, I'll throw to you boys. Interchange, and maybe if I'm going to name a sub, I'm probably going to say Kennedy for my team.
Kennedy's my sub too.
Yeah. How'd you boys go with your bench?
I've got Chera, Chincotta, Kennedy, and Jack Martin.
Yeah, see, Jack Martin doesn't make my squad. He doesn't make my team. I've got Cotters, Chincotta, Cowan, and Hewitt with Kennedy sub.
Yeah, there's going to be a sub. Oh, he's a sub. There's a few blokes that miss, I think. So you got Carroll, Cunners. Now, obviously, like Doc and Jace also whatnot. I think we've done it.
Yeah, they're not getting the game.
Yeah. Corey Durden, how does he miss? Fantasia. So there's a few blokes that miss there, but yeah, it's an interesting. And I think it was a lot easier to do it this year than last year. I don't know about you boys.
Yeah.
We're a lot more set. Last year we couldn't get a game. We weren't winning a game. So,
and
Jack Fisher last year. We said Fisher was half forward or whatever. So.
Well, that was because Fogg hadn't come in yet, and we'd seen one game from Jack Martin as well. But I mean, that's the thing. You know what he's going to bring, Jack, and it's again. I said it a few weeks ago. The frustration of him not being available because who knows what that forward line dynamic would have brought. But hey, Fogg back after missing a few weeks. Was it the Freo game where he done his wrist with Fife? So having him back has been fantastic. And then of course the as Mars says it from the jumper punch, shout out Mars, the experiments, Zach Williams. It's a great term for it. It's proving to be 10 goals in 4 weeks, averaging 2.5. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
See what's happening in the chat. Uncle Sam, no change, boys. Keep as is. Morris, hey, what about Lewis Young? What about him? Who's a sub in this lineup for me? I think I had Kennedy. Shout out Mars. Thank you. Get the likes up. Whoever's in the live. A reminder, absolutely hit the like button.
Hit the like button, guys.
Yeah. Nicholas agreed with you, boys. Motlop over Owies, unfortunately for me. Someone showed me. Was it Dan Gorringe that put up a thing? He shared someone that had an Owies tattoo saying "Owies never misses" or something like that. Someone got a tattoo on their thigh about Owies.
We have some amazing fans. I love it.
Some sick puppies there too. I love it. Absolutely love it. I know he hasn't played, but I think Motlop will take his spot. Petra, Lana Owens, they kind of picked themselves. Plus Cohen coming off the bench for rotation. Cowan, I think he prefers Cohen. Love what he's brought. Absolutely love what he's brought this year. Mars, Motlop, possibly the sub. A bit of spark off the bench. Him coming on the third or the fourth. Oh, how good was his goals against Melbourne in the semi? That check side one was fantastic. Yeah. Uncle Sam, I don't know if this is Uncle Sam or if this is Moose who's hacked his phone. Mackay sub.
My Uncle Sam and Moose, they just don't like Harry, but I've had so many arguments and discussions with my Uncle Sam. He thinks Harry's a dud. And I'm just like, hell, he's a gun.
I've got Moose's lineup here. I'll read out quickly for him.
Yeah.
Back six: Wiedering, Cowan, Boyd, Newman, McGovern, and Adam Saad. Centers, Cripps, Wings, Cottrell, and Akers. And his forwards are Owies, McKay, Elijah Hollands, that is. Zach Williams, Jack Martin, and Charlie Curnow. Followers: Tom De Koning, Sam Walsh, Adam Chera. And interchanges: Lockie Fogarty, Chinkota, Hewitt, and Matthew Kennedy. And his sub was Motlop. That's Mustafa McKay's one.
There's been no Mustafa McKay. There's consistency. We've had a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
Or no Bam Bam.
Sub. Sorry.
Sub for me. I don't know sub. Yeah. Sorry, Andy.
I was just going to point out the last comment from Nicholas. Personally, Kennedy is our best possible sub when Chera's back. Kennedy can play any position, every position. Sorry.
Yeah,
complete utility. That's why he's my sub.
Yeah.
It's not a slight on him not being in our best 22. It's just having that weapon as a sub. So, whether it's injury or just, someone's out of gas, you can put him in anywhere and he knows that position and he does that, plays that position well. That's why I think we're so lucky to have two of those guys on our list, him and Jesus. So,
miss him.
it's, absolutely. Great call, Nick.
Dorse, where would Hugh Janus fit if he got in a few more games, mate? Right where Mike Crotch fits as well in the emergencies.
It's after 10 o'clock. It's after 10 o'clock.
It's after 10.
Oh, it's getting musty, man.
Petra, absolutely need a fit and firing Motlop. Would love Martin to make an appearance, but it's a risk with his history of injuries. I don't know how many more weeks. Is it 1, 2, 4, 6, 8? I don't know. It's every week the timeline changes. So
what did they say? They said they'll assess after the bye, or it's after the bye. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess.
That's it. We should find out.
So it should be back by next year.
Shout out for tuning in, Justin Lekovmissy, Polak. Oh, that looked like it's not going to leave me now. Shout out, Justin. Hey, if you haven't sat near Justin at the footy, Justin is atmosphere, man. I love what he brings to the crowd.
Justin is the unofficial cheer squad himself. Doesn't need a squad. It's just him.
Wherever he's sitting, great atmosphere, man. Johnny Holden, Motlop would be good in. He might perform in the scene. He's a better delivery and better players around him, as opposed to what he's bringing in the VFL at the moment, which isn't the best of form. So, yeah. Oh, interesting discussion. I think we've had a lot of similarities. It seems like there's a lot of consistency in the chat as well, with a few, which is like your Motlop, your Martin, your Kennedy. That's been up in the air. I know we talked about Kemp as well. He was sort of like And a lot of the fan base is a bit, 50-50 on your Kemp and your Hollands. A Kemp, you can do one great thing. You can do 5 or 6 concerning things that put you on the edge of your seat. That seems to be a bit of a discussion with the fan base recently. What do you boys reckon? Lock? You happy with a lock for Kemp? Are you still not sold?
No, I like him. I reckon he's only going to get better. Look, he makes a few silly mistakes, turnovers and that, but yeah, how many games has he played? Has he cracked 50 yet?
I don't think so. I think he might be close. Yeah.
I don't think he has. So what's that tell you, man? He plays on some good players, yeah. Mm-hmm. He's played 34 games. But I've got a question, Georgie. Can you put your list back up?
I shall indeed. Where are we?
Quick question for you.
Mm-hmm.
If Doherty comes in, who's the one you take out? And the same with Sauce. 1 for 1.
I don't know if I think Sauce is the weird one because who do we need this week? Where do we need him this week? So I think Sauce is that one.
Mm-hmm.
For Doc, that's a tough one, man.
It's tough.
I'm gonna say Cowan for me, only because I sort of said Cowan's a bit bigger. Slightly similar size.
Cowan's been amazing, man.
I don't want Cowan out of the team, bro.
Who do you take out? That's the thing. Like, it's a hard. Do you take? It's got to be him or Chincotta if you're looking at the bench there. Or
Chincotta's been great too.
You can't really, like, Boyd's fantastic. You can't.
Can we play both Hollands and Cottrell in the same team?
And what I mean, you mean both wings and Akers?
Yeah,
and then you got Akers as well. Yeah, don't forget Akers.
I mean. Like, I think Akers for me is a shoe-in.
I think Oliver Hollands or Matty Cottrell, one of them comes out for.
That's looking at this and looking at my team as well that I'm looking at on my phone. That's a tough question, Carl.
That's
and look, it might be for like who we actually playing. Do we need a big body defender where Cowan might be the one to miss out? It's just that's a very good question. So I think it for me it's either Ollie or Cotters, and that's tough. That's tough on both. Carl, you put me in a bad position. Don't do that again, please. It's tough.
What a tough call. I mean, if you could think about it from the coaching stuff, like imagine you have the problem with the full selection, barring injuries. But I feel like it's given opportunities to players who wouldn't have had. Don't forget Carroll's been in the team most of the season as well. So it's given opportunities to him. But to get someone out, it's a very, very tough call. Mm-hmm. I think that, again, it'll depend. Do you play him on the wing? It'll depend if you play him on the wing or play him in the back line. That's a huge call, man. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. For me, I'd still, if it's not Cowan, it probably is either a Cotters or a Hollands, depending who takes that position and who rotates. Yeah, it's
tough question. Good question.
Very good question. There's a few in the chat. Doc for Cowan. Peter V actually said Sauce as the sub, maybe.
He called Justin.
Take out Ollie. Seems to be a whole. Yeah, well, here we go. Justin. The hard truth is no room for Doc anymore. Wow, it's a big call.
That's massive. I love you, Justin, but I think you need to settle down, bro. That's a massive call, brother.
I don't need Cotters. Harry says Stewart out for Doc. I think. Look, wish Doc all the best for his recovery, and I'm really keen to see how he comes back. He's come back from.
He's already running.
Right? He's a warrior. He's running. It's going to be interesting to see how because he'll have a say in, I guess, where he plays as well, and along with Voss, I think it'll be interesting to see what his body can, put up with. For example, the wing, the physical demanding of the back and forth, which it can do that. The guy's an absolute freak, but you've got players there that are going to give you the 15Ks, 16Ks a game. Does he slot in and change his role a little bit in the midfield or halfback? It'll be. It's a very good question, Carl. Well done. Stump me.
Cheers, lads.
Absolutely had me stumped.
Sorry, boys.
Johnny Besto had me. Johnny Besto walking halfway down the pitch. Stumped, mate. Absolutely stumped.
Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, closing calls, boys.
Winning the flag. That's my call. We're winning the flag.
Hey, September 30. The tattoos book September 30 on the Monday. I got the day off. I took the day off. I lodged the day off. I went early. I don't care. So it's happening. It's happening. Get around it.
Absolutely. Tattoo booked. I'm good to go.
Carl, anything from you?
I think I'm going to go watch the Carlton Melbourne replay. Just
to G yourself up before bed.
Last quarter, yeah.
Yeah, good. Hey, the Carlton Melbourne replay, I think, along with, it's just sad, but like the Carlton Richmond 2 years ago, the last quarter, was it when Fisher kicked the winner? No, Fisher kicked that goal and the crowd erupted.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Was it 2022? Was it? Yeah, 2022.
Yeah.
How good was that final quarter? Far out. Like, just listening back when Jack Martin kicked the one to put us in front, and then we got the quick center clearance, and then
it was instant.
Yeah.
Martin spun around in the tackle, hands to Fisher, goes on the left, and the camera pans to the crowd, and everyone's losing it. Wow.
We're that starved for success.
We're looking at round one.
I'm not even
going
there, boys. We're winning the flag, and we're all going to cry, and it's going to be beautiful, and we're all going to hug each other, and we're all going to meet up on Lygon Street. Everybody who follows the Monday Blues, we're going to meet up on Lygon Street, middle of the road. We're going to huddle up and sing the song.
Bring your sleeping bags, bring your swags, bring your pillows. We're sleeping there tonight.
Absolutely.
Can't wait. Absolutely can't wait. And before we go, again, a massive thank you to our sponsor, bluescrypto.com. I pinned in the chat his most recent Ask Me Anything. So I'm going to steal this tagline again from Paul from the Jump Punch. But the fan token by Ura Koken. I love the way that rings. Rings well. A really awesome opportunity. Whether you're new to investing or a seasoned investor, definitely check out an awesome opportunity for investment. Fan token, bluescrypto.com. You can jump on and check out every Wednesday 9 p.m. the Ask Me Anything. Get around order, absolute gentlemen. So shout out to you. Thank you for getting around us. And to everyone in the chat, really appreciate you. Absolutely, has been buzzing tonight, the chat. So well done. Everyone's been jumping in with their thoughts and opinions. And
hit a like on the way out.
Smash the like on the way out. We will see you guys Thursday evening for the Thursday evening. Yeah, I think it's 8:30 or 9 p.m. roughly around there. We might be a little bit late as we always are, a couple of minutes. But
we're not late. We're early.
We're always on time.
Hang on. There's no game Thursday, so we'll be 9 o'clock.
Done.
9 o'clock? Yeah. 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, Thursday night for the Carlton Geelong preview. Thanks all for tuning in. Hit the like on the way out. Appreciate you all. Take it away, Carl.
Sicky now.